Hello, everybody. I'm the monkey. I'm here with my co-host, Wide-Eyed Gamer. Say hello.
Howdy doody, everyone.
And today, finally,
Finally.
we've got a guest. Would you like to introduce yourself, NightBreed? Yeah.
Hello.
That was like the most
Anticlimactic intro ever.
Yes. Okay. Oh god.
But
It's good to be here.
it is
Yeah,
very
it's
good
good to have you, Nightbreed. It's good to have you. Alright, so we're gonna start off with the what we've done recently. If you'd like to contribute, you alright doing contribute? Yep, my tongue? Oh.
Are you talking to me or Nightbreed?
Not Nightbreed. Why would I be talking to you?
Okay.
Well, I've made some stuff on YouTube. Been writing a short story gonna be going on Amazon soon. There's that,
Nice.
and then there, of course, there's all the drama with the Jared guy. If you've seen my channel before.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Jared.
I've seen a decent few videos of him.
Jared is such an asshole.
He's lovely.
Yeah, sounds lovely.
And I made that Godzilla review that people didn't like, so whatever.
I mean, I didn't like it. I don't agree with your opinion, but it was a well-made video. It was quite funny. I liked it.
It was very well made, but despite not agreeing with your opinion, it's fair enough.
It was good.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like how Monkey just basically despises Venom. I like Venom.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Venom. I think it's terrible, especially since they, for like a year, they told us Venom's going to be rated R, and then they changed it within like a month of it releasing.
That's the problem I have with it, but I still like the movie.
Like, I think just Tom Hardy just being Tom Hardy is the only thing that makes that movie like watchable, really. Because Tom Hardy is super entertaining.
He's quite good, but this is probably just me being an autistic fanboy, but it doesn't really. He's not really acting like Eddie Brock. Is that a reasonable complaint, or is that just me being an autistic?
He's basically just Peter Parker in that movie, really.
Well, you're not wrong.
He's a blunter Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nightbreed, tell us about the R5050.
Wide-eyed. Are you getting the name mixed up already? There's a large difference between Wide-eyed and Nightbreed.
I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me. Jesus.
Monkey.
Jesus, when did you start becoming the one who yells at me? Okay, whatever. You don't get a segment now.
Aw.
Right, that's what happens when you stand up to your superior.
What if I apologize?
Alright, sure.
Yay. Anyway.
Right.
Alrighty.
Keep it slightly.
Whomever may be... Yeah, whatever. Whomever may be watching this, hopefully, people will know Reddit, obviously, and people will know the subreddit 50/50. If you do not know the subreddit 50/50, it's essentially two sides. People post posts, and they have two chances. Yeah. Either a good chance or a bad chance. Hence the 50/50. Yeah. So, I'm going to skip right to my favorite example.
Don't.
The good example in this is perfectly open container of butter, so I guess that's satisfying.
Oh god, no, not this one again.
The bad example is butter mixed with peanut butter, semen, and poop. Keep it family friendly.
Oh god.
Thankfully, I've checked this, and it is the good example.
Oh god.
It's quite satisfying. So it's quite nice.
Okay. Well, I was.
Yeah, there's a lot of these, and a lot of them are very disturbing.
Okay.
Makes me glad I'm not on Reddit.
You know what? I envy you. You haven't seen the things that I've seen.
Okay.
I've seen some things.
Well, mine's gonna be slightly less climatic in comparison. Well, I mean,
That is.
some things like I'm doing animation in the media course in college. I guess that's something, and I have seen the new Watchmen show,
Oh, here we go.
Oh god.
and I was excited for this. Really excited for this. But I now want to rewrite one of my comic arcs just to be a better version of Watchmen. That's how much I hate it.
What's wrong with it per se?
Well,
What isn't? It's pretty
yeah.
bad.
Like, okay, maybe let's forget the terrible dialogue. Like,
Wait, let me quote one.
yeah.
I got a nose for white supremacy and it smells like bleach.
It's so. Okay,
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this podcast.
that's an actual line! That's an actual line!
We could end the podcast right here because that is funnier than anything we could possibly say. What kind of dialogue? Who wrote that? So, let me remind you, someone wrote that down and decided, yeah, that's a fine piece of dialogue to put in a show.
This is good.
And that's a pilot, right? That's like the pilot? That's like the first
that was in
episode.
the pilot episode. That was like the first episode.
Oh, you got a stinker on your hands when that is one of the lines in the pilot of this show.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, then there's the
That is
stupid
yikes.
Cold War. Then there's the stupid Cold War racism being modern day. No, wait, the modern day Cold War being racism, as the writers said. And I
But
say,
the Cold War wasn't racist.
yeah.
No, like I thought they were saying. It made it sound like they were like talking about the Cold War today. They're trying to equate racism with like the Cold War or something.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you said.
No, like the.
I mean, that makes more sense than the Cold War being racist.
No, what they came up with is the excuse. I'm calling it an excuse because this is stupid, right? Of, well, the modern day Cold War, today, nowadays, the equivalent is racism. Which, no. I feel like they've just used that as an excuse to talk about racism and get some brownie points from.
PC points.
Some PC points.
Yeah,
But,
that Cold War between two predominantly white nations. Yeah.
Yeah. So racist.
Like, the Cold War, the entire point it was called the Cold War is that nothing happened. Sure, stuff could have happened, could have been blown to hell and back, but no, nothing happened. Whereas in racism, stuff happens! People die because of racism.
Right?
You know, I would like to see somebody actually talk about like white racism, like white people getting killed because they're
like
white, because
reverse.
that happens.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
reverse-
but I'm gonna say, keep in mind, I'm gonna say this very carefully.
Don't.
We can't exactly say much about that because we could get accused of being, I believe the subreddit is called a fragile white redditor.
Oh yeah.
I talk about things like that without sounding racist yourself, and I'm trying very difficult not to sound racist.
But it's
I mean, I've already been accused of it, and pretty much existing at this point is enough for people to believe that you're racist. So
yeah. You can literally just say the letter N and people will go on Twitter going, I can't believe he said N. This is some Hitler level stuff up here. But
Basically.
this will be a cool little segue to the next story. Right.
Segue.
Oh, is that not the right word to use? Oh, mighty illiterate God.
No, I'm just kind of confused why you chose a segue.
Because that's how you say it. This is why I'm the host.
Okay, fine. Continue.
Okay, so have both of you seen Hazbin Hotel? I know NightBreed has seen Hazbin Hotel. He is overly excited about it.
I've said this once. I'll say it again. Wide-eyed.
Wide-eyed.
I actually haven't seen it yet. It keeps popping up and recommended, and everyone's just like, watch it. I'm like, I really want to because everyone says it's good. Like, it's one of those things that virtually across the board, majority of people enjoy.
Yeah.
So
it's quite.
It's been like a huge meme lately, so it makes me want to see it even more.
Yeah.
It is really good.
I really enjoyed the memes about it. Like, okay, well, I bet both of you probably heard of the thing of people going online, and because there was like jokes in a show, may I remind them, based in hell, what were offensive.
Yeah. Can I add something?
Okay.
Please?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a unnamed YouTuber. I'm gonna say unnamed because one, I can't remember his name, and two, I can't be bothered looking up his name. And if I'm presuming, if people have seen, shut up. If people
better not be another Logan Paul rant. I'm telling you.
It's not a Logan Paul rant. Don't worry. So
you're not gonna
this
say
YouTuber.
Stuff I'm gonna have to edit out.
Be quiet. Be quiet. I'm not gonna say anything that you have to edit out. Don't worry. Anyway, you keep interrupting me, so you're just making this longer. Anyway, so this YouTuber, he doesn't like Hazbin Hotel, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I couldn't care less. Like, Hazbin Hotel to me is great, but to him, it's not good. But his reasoning behind not liking it is the most stupid thing I've ever seen. Like, sure, you could just say, "Oh, I don't really like the show," but no, his reasoning behind it is so weird.
What is it?
Well, I'll tell you now. I'm pretty sure his videos, if you search up Hazbin Hotel, his videos like in the top 4 or top 5, so it shouldn't be that hard to find it.
Yeah.
So his reasoning is that in the first maybe the beginning of the show, after the first song bit,
you had a stroke then.
There's 3 people that died. There's the weird spider thing. Yeah. Then Angel Dust's the car person drives off and he seems to crash, so he's presumed dead. And then a boulder gets dropped on a 3rd guy. So that's basically 3 deaths. So that's showing that obviously you're in hell. No one's really bothered about death, and it happens on a daily basis. But no, this guy saw it as haha, using the same cliche funny joke 3 times in a row.
That's the problem, really?
What? That's not his only problem.
It almost sounds like a nostalgia critic criticizing Pink Floyd's The Wall and not actually getting what it was about.
Yeah!
Well, oh God, yeah. He didn't seem to piece together that it was meant to kind of set the scene of death as a regular occurrence here. No, he just kind of thought, haha, funny cliche. But his actual reasoning behind it all is... Okay. He doesn't like all the, and I quote, juvenile humor.
Wait, is he saying...
So, he doesn't like all the sex jokes and the swearing and stuff, but might I remind him that the main character only swears around 3 or 4 times.
Well,
the other characters that swear a lot more are in hell. They are demons, and it's an adult cartoon. Just look at South Park.
Well,
are you going to say South Park has a bunch of juvenile humor? Because it does, and people still find that funny.
I was actually going to ask what he thought of. What do you think he would think of South Park, which is like one of the greatest shows ever conceived. So
Exactly.
If he's getting mad at Hazbin Hotel for making these jokes, he's probably on his chair having a stroke watching South Park.
And I'm right. I'm yeah. Hang on, I gotta gather my words. So there are a lot of reviewers of Hazbin Hotel that always mention that there's the one joke in there when two characters are fighting. I'm trying to be as vague as possible, so not to give anything. Well, obviously give stuff away to the people that've seen it, but to make people want to see it. But I'm trying my best here. Shut up.
I didn't say.
Anyway, people find the joke within this fight offensive or stupid or juvenile or whatever he wants to say, but they always leave out the punchline. They just hear Mr. Spider-Man and his line, but they never take notice to the Snaky Boys line.
You could just say the names.
just say the line, and I think I'd be fine.
Yeah, it's just a line.
Okay, well, Mr. Spidey Boy.
Angel Dust. Just say the name.
All right, Angel just is yoinked by Serpentius's chain thing, and he says, and I quote, "Oh, harder, daddy."
Oh yeah, I remember this. This joke was great.
Yeah, exactly. But that they cut it there. They don't listen to Serpentius's punchline, which is, "Son."
Oh, I love that joke.
Brilliant. But they never include it. They just listen to the "Oh, daddy."
Is it basically what they did? The critics did to Dave Chappelle's new special that was amazing, but they were just like, he made fun of the rainbow people. It's like, yeah, but the joke was funny. Quit being the joke police and let me joke.
He made fun of the rainbow people.
That's it. Oh, so yeah, that's. I was gonna make a little review there, but no, I just feel like
I did a bit of a rant there, didn't I?
That was good though. That's better than the Logan Paul rant. I had to cut out.
He had to cut a lot of that rant out.
You mean Logan Paul's still relevant?
No, but if you've seen episode 2 of the podcast, I went off on a bit of a rant about Logan Paul, and Monkey had to cut a decent amount of that out.
That rant itself led the episode to be 2 hours long.
God. Like the first episode wasn't that long. It was like not even an hour.
Yeah.
No.
That shows how much of a rant you went on. It's not.
And you cut like 60% out of it.
Okay, well now we're focusing on Logan Paul again. Continue on.
Oh no. So to summarize, the unnamed YouTuber isn't wrong in his views, but his views are pretty stupid.
So he's wrong in his views.
No,
I mean,
he's not.
You can't be wrong in your opinion if you're not backing it up good enough. Like if I made that Godzilla video, it's just like it sucks because it's childish and there's a bunch of monsters, and I just show like this one stupid scene in the movie and went like, hey, see, the whole movie sucks. But I like did my best to explain why I didn't think it was a good movie, because it was supposed to be this really dumb monster movie, which I would have loved if it was. Because who doesn't like a good dumb monster movie every now and then? But it wasn't. Yeah. It was constantly like, oh, global warming, we have to do something or it's going to destroy the planet. I can understand
that.
What's the solution? It's like, what's the solution? I got it. I'll destroy the planet. It's like, but that's not a plan.
Okay, I can.
Looking back, I just keep remembering their plan, and it's just like, what on earth were you thinking?
I kind of
releasing all the monsters to do what?
Okay, I've not seen the film in a while, but first time viewing it, I interpreted it as them wanting to kill humanity. Which, first off, I'm thinking, okay, these guys are clearly insane. But I feel like I'm remembering that wrong after this context.
If you watch it again, it's actually framed as in, oh, these people, they mean well. It's like, it's literally framed as that. It's like, do they though? And also, I hate the thing where they're trying to make Godzilla like the good guy, and it's like, he's not though. He's just an animal that fights other animals.
It's like a lion protecting you.
They tried doing that in the original, in like the old Japanese films.
Yeah, but this isn't the old Japanese films.
Yeah,
I'm talking about in the context of this series, Godzilla's never been portrayed as the good guy. Like, remember that scene in 2014 movie where he just shows up and a tsunami happens and it kills hundreds of people?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he just shows up.
In this series, he's definitely more neutral, I say.
He's definitely neutral, but I mean, they keep trying to cast him in a good light when he keeps killing people. So it's like trying to make a serial killer good again. He just keeps killing people, and it's like, Greg, could you not do that?
Greg.
No, Greg, spit that out, honey. That's Bobby's arm. What are you doing?
But okay, this is out of context. This is probably going way off context or anything, but Greg. That's what you name your serial killer. Greg.
Greg, yes, Greg.
It sounds like a stupid mother trying to calm down her son who's also a serial killer. Oh, Greg, honey, what are you doing? It's like
just a demonic kid named Greg.
Okay. Well, this I kind of like how unintentionally this segues. Okay. Yes, my illiteracy is the most autistic thing on the planet. But this segues smoothly into the next thing. So, NightBreed. I keep on mixing it up. Wide-eye.
Yes, monkey.
Remember last episode when we talked about the rights of all those properties being moved over to stuffs to the original owners, and Nightmare on Elm Street was given back to the Wes Craven's family.
Yes.
So, what, the 1,000th time now, they are taking pictures for either a Nightmare on Elm Street movie or a TV show.
Please, God, let it be a movie. I don't want a TV show.
I don't want...
Unless it's Robert England.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could definitely have a TV show.
I'm pretty sure Robert England's sick of the thing, playing Freddy.
Fair enough.
But who else is gonna play Freddy?
It's just the remake.
Not the remake Freddy, not Rorschach again. I do.
Have you had enough of Rorschach from The Watchmen?
The Rorschach cult, maybe. I could never have enough of Rorschach. Rorschach is my anime waifu.
Right, okay.
Okay, so yeah, no Rorschach. I think Robert England would be up to be on board, just not playing as Freddy. I think he would do a similar thing to what Nick Castle did in the newer Halloween.
Robert England's so old though. Would he even be mobile enough to be Freddy?
He runs around in somebody's dream and he just breaks his spine on set.
Freddy has a cane hand and a claw hand now.
He's now just... Somebody falls asleep, they wake up in the front of the Elm Street house and he just walks out going, "Hey! There, kids! Get off my lawn! I'm a slasher!
The dream warriors come back into his head and start singing again, blast him out to his own nightmare. Dream warriors, don't wanna dream no more.
Freddy just becomes a boomer. That's why he kills in the new film. That's why he kills
You kids aren't scared. Can you imagine the movie being like 5 minutes long? He just jumps out on somebody and they're like not scared of him. He's just like, you kids aren't scared of me anymore. All this newfangled technology has desensitized you. And the lady's just, okay, boomer. And then the movie ends.
So it's just Monsters Inc.
Okay.
What if Freddy started working for Monsters Inc?
Okay. Well, personally, I'm personally think that the Freddy TV show and movie's gonna go the same way as the 20 other Elm Street stuff, which is it's never gonna be brought up again, and they're gonna go, we're making a new movie like 2 years later. But
we're making a new movie.
Yeah, like that. But if they end up making a new movie, I think a good idea is you get some of the people who worked on the first, well, not the first it, but like 2017 it, to work on this for like the CGI of visual effects. Like I'll be up for that. I'll be up for that.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Just need to stop making those movies, or just stop making older properties in general. Just do something else.
I mean, I have no problem with them like remaking them. Like remaking an old story for a new generation is alright, but
yeah, but
you have to do something with it.
Yeah, we're getting to the point though where we're literally remaking remakes. Yeah, the new Addams Family movie is a remake of a remake based on an old television show. And then you have the new Charlie's Angels movie, which is a remake of an old television show.
Why would you make a remake of a remake, though? What's the point?
Money!
I have no idea. And how come people just don't remake stories that needed it because they're not exactly have like aged well or anything? They keep remaking all the good ones. It's like, yeah, but those are already good, though. They're timeless. Yeah. You can't affect that.
It's
like when they did a Ben-Hur remake.
Oh, what?
You've never seen the movie Ben-Hur? That's an old movie.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say why not just make a sequel to the remake, but then I remembered sequels aren't good. So
some of them can be, you know. It happens.
Some of them can be once in a blue moon. You know.
The only sequels I can think of that are good are Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back,
Revenge of the Sith,
Dark Knight,
T2,
Terminator 2, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Aliens,
Shrek 2. I'm not joking with that.
I know you're not joking with that. That makes it even better.
Keep in mind, there's even less good prequels out there. Like, I can count them on one hand. How many good ones there are? And like one of them,
would you class
is a video game.
Would you class Revenge of the Sith on there?
Revenge of the Sith isn't a great movie, but it's like the most entertaining
it's the best of the prequels.
Yeah, it's the best of the three. Let's just put it as like that.
But that's a very low bar.
That is an extremely low bar.
The three good prequels, in my opinion, one's a video game, one's a book, and one's a freaking movie. And like the video game is Metal Gear Solid 3 is a good prequel. The Dark Tower 4 is a good prequel, and that's the book. And then you have The Good and the Bad and the Ugly is a prequel, and it's good. Those are like the three that I can think of off the top of my head, and you're like, you know what? They didn't completely screw things up with that.
Yeah. They didn't do it completely terrible.
Whereas the prequels added a lot of things that didn't really need to be added.
Midichlorians.
Kind of like,
Yeah, midichlorians, and the fact that Palpatine uses lightsabers, whereas in the original series it was supposed to be like, oh, he's so forcey that he doesn't need lightsaber. Forcey. Okay, bear with me. I'm gonna go hang myself for using that word.
I would argue that the Alien and the Star Trek prequels are worse than the Star Wars prequels, because at least the Star Wars prequels are somewhat entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Prometheus, no. Alien Covenant, no.
Alien Covenant. Okay, here's what I'll say about Alien Covenant. It's the best recent Alien film, but that's comparing it to Alien Resurrection and Prometheus.
Yeah, Alien Resurrection and Alien vs. Predator Requiem, two of like some of the worst movies ever made.
Oh
no,
yeah.
they don't exist. We don't talk about them.
I like the first Alien vs. Predator, but not Requiem. Requiem is just...
Shh, no, we don't talk about it. Shh.
Well, I don't know how big of Trekkies either of you are, but like the Star Trek prequel Discovery is equally worse, easily worse than the Star Wars prequels, in my opinion. They're really bad.
I just know
that's
the prequels for Star Trek is bad, and Star Trek itself is good. That's all I know.
I remember seeing an episode of Star Trek when I was younger, and even
I don't.
And even then, my mind went to: is that guy's face that Halloween killer's mask? That was actually my thought, and then years later, I found out that it was his mask, and I'm like, God damn.
All right. So if you're going to start the series and getting into it, just watch the original series. It's cheesy, but the writing is actually super competent. Next Generation is really good with Patrick Stewart as the captain.
Patrick
and
Stewart
Deep Space Nine is good. Patrick Stewart can do no wrong, even when he's in a bad movie.
Even when he's in the Emoji movies, he's the best part of the Emoji movie.
Or the Charlie's Angels movie that he was in recently.
Wait, he's in that?
Was that in any way, shape, or form good, or was it like Men in Black International?
Oh no, it was awful. It was like it's so bad that when the lady that directed it, like days before it came out, she started blaming people for its failure, even though it hadn't even came out in theaters yet.
Jesus,
that's how bad the movie was.
I feel like didn't Sony make that one as well? I feel like Sony made that.
It seems like a Sony movie, doesn't it?
So far, after Spider-Verse came out, it looked like Sony's going, alright, we made one great film, so how about we make 1,000 bad films to balance it out?
yeah, Spider-Verse is pretty good, but the only problem I have with Spider-Verse is Gwen Stacy. She's like a plot hole in that movie.
Yeah,
I'm curious now, how so?
Okay.
I haven't watched it in a while.
No, to keep in mind, her being a plot hole doesn't ruin the movie. I still think that's like in the top 3 Spider-Man movies ever, if not in the top 10 superhero movies.
Is Spider-Man 3 up there?
Movie.
Spider-Man 3 cannot be up there.
Come on. Peter Parker twerking is enough to get it to the top 3.
Exactly.
Sweet ass.
Okay. So
that's America's ass.
Gwen Stacy, she's somehow shows up before everyone else, before any of the experiments with the portal are being, used. She shows up before all of them. I guess you could explain it in ways that maybe they were doing some other experiment, fine. But how does her Spidey sense tell her to go to a school where there isn't a Spider-Man because Miles hadn't even been bitten yet? So she wouldn't have been able to notice him at all because he's not a Spider-Man yet. And then there's the part at the end of the movie where
she makes that weird portal thing
and comes back through. Miles, you got a minute? I was like, ooh, you shouldn't have ended it like that. But other than that, super competent movie. It actually, it of course, it's a Lord Miller movie, so it's obviously going to be good because they're they know exactly what they're doing. They take the stupidest concepts in the world and make masterpieces out of them. I don't know how they do it. But Gwen Stacy was like, wait, how did you know that Miles was going to be a spider person? Because remember, they met before he got bit, and she says, well, I was told to go to this school. And then she's inside the school somehow, and no one questions how she's there, even though it's a school for people that have to qualify to get in. And then she's in that one scientist, the Doc Ock's lab, and no one questions how she's in there, and she's walking around casually like she belongs there.
Like a teenage girl's just walking around a highly armed facility.
Yeah, but
you could see it in
perfect.
Yeah, you can see it in two ways. Two ways I just thought of.
Oh my god!
One way,
I've just realised everything to do with Spider. Yeah, but this is an epiphany. Everything to do with Gwen Stacy is sequel bait.
Oh god damn it!
No, you're not wrong.
It is!
Okay, guys, just another epiphany. Just off the top of my head, I have to say the best Spider-Man in that movie was freaking the noir Spider-Man played by my man Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
When I heard
that guy was perfect.
When I heard Nicolas Cage was playing a Spider-Man, I was thinking, you're joking. But then, I'm like, crap, he's good. Like, he's not like one of the standout people in my opinion, but he's really good in this film.
Is it bad that I didn't like Spider-Ham?
Yes.
But Spider-Ham was funny. The only thing I didn't like was that his nose also blinked with his eyes, but whatever.
Yeah, it's my
Was it blunk or blinked?
Oh,
blink.
Yeah, got it. Did. Anyway, we've gone off topic. We went
we went off so off topic.
And no, wait, no, I wasn't finished saying my epiphany.
Oh, okay.
Epiphany
You two
already
interrupted.
then.
Yeah, I'm going to. Right, so Gwen Stacy, Stacy.
You sounded like
two kind of two possibilities that I've just thought of. Maybe she could have, say, replaced the life of a different Gwen Stacy, depending on if there is different versions of different characters
she just took her
throughout
out?
the multiverse.
She just took her out? She just came up behind her, stabbed her neck, and dumped her body into the river. So.
Dude, could you imagine that in the movie, though? That'd be just cool.
If that happened
maybe we'll get a prequel where we get to see that.
If that happened in the movie, I would also probably laugh the loudest I would ever laugh. Like out of nowhere, it just turns into I remember what you did last summer.
Like Spidey Gwen Stacy just full on comes up behind normal Gwen Stacy with it state. I keep saying Stacy. Comes up behind normal Gwen Stacy with a shank and just full on stabs her.
She does a Joker.
You want to hear another joke? Stacy.
Okay.
Knock knock. Who's there? It's your son. He's been ran over by a drunk driver. He's dead.
Okay. This bit went on long enough, but it's good. But we need to go over to the next bit. Right.
What is the next bit?
Coincidentally, or uncoincidentally, because I put that in there just to segue into this, because I'm the master of segueing. Yes? Have both of you heard that they're doing a Joker 2?
Yeah.
My opinion, they don't need to. The Joker was a powerful standalone film that, like, it had a complete arc. I don't see how you could make a sequel out of it.
That's what I think.
Without repeating what was already done.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I would have maybe liked if they just did like, here's what I thought was going to happen. That they're going to do a anthology sort of thing where each different movie is a different Batman villain's origin.
I would definitely look at that, like Scarecrow. I want to see Scarecrow.
I want to see I want to see a Killer Croc film.
An R-rated Scarecrow movie would be amazing.
Like I know, that would be so good.
That'd be so good. But here's the thing, I've just thought, if they're doing a Joker 2, there's only one way to go, and I really don't like that one way.
What, like Batman?
Yeah, Batman.
I actually would want to see like an R-rated Batman movie that was about, like, in the comic books, it was supposed to be his first enemy was the Red Hood gang.
Yeah.
I would like to see a movie about him fighting them, and not Gotham, because Gotham sucks.
The problem with Joker, the movie, and this is what I've only just realised, they can't change it so that the Red Hood gang appears, because they've set it up so that, I guess, Joker gang, would you say?
Yeah, that's...
The massive Joker riots, they are, like, clowns.
Yeah.
So they can't just say, hey, you know what, here's a good idea, let's switch on over to Red Hoods. Can't do that.
Unless they wrote it in such a way that the Red Hood gang isn't from Gotham, they just decided to stomp through Gotham.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, yeah. But,
I mean, because you can take some liberties, like, just kind of change it up a little bit.
I'm not against, like, properties changing it, like, Joker's prime example of that. That's, like, it changed so much, but it's needed to be changed because Joker's origin is a mess.
But they still stuck to, like, a lot of the comic book lore, though, and it was actually impressive how much they stuck to it.
They stuck to killing Joke the most, but that's still stretching a bit to call it, like, an adaptation.
And, was it The Dark Knight Returns? I think they did that as well, a lot of the stuff in that.
Oh, yeah, they did some similar stuff to the Dark Knight comics, yeah.
Like when he kills Dave Letterman?
Yeah, they did... borrowed some stuff from that, but it's more of its own thing than like a Joker like origin thing. But it is a big problem with a Joker sequel, I think. If they do the Batman thing, that's gonna ruin the whole realism of the previous film. Like,
yep.
I wouldn't like call Joker dead realistic, but it keeps a more grounded approach than most comic book films. Well, all comic book films.
It would also be like it'd be tonally different. It'd be more of an action thriller rather than a drama.
Well, yeah. Because then, last film, you see Joker dancing on the stairs. Yeah, it's kind of, it's a bit Joker characteristically, it's good, and it's grounded in reality. He doesn't do any backflips or anything. Now you just throw in a man in a giant flying rat suit, pouncing at Joker, going,
but he's still young and hasn't hit puberty yet. Where is he?
He's only just hitting puberty. Where are they?
Or it's like that one video that was posted like forever ago on YouTube. The kid dressed up as Batman. What do you want for dinner? He's like, justice. He like chokes his mom. It's such a good.
Justice. Yeah. So I'm interested to see where it goes, but I'm not holding my breath for it to be good.
It's like the newest Star Wars movie to a lesser extent. I'm gonna watch both movies I just referred to, the Joker movie and the Star Wars movie, because it's Star Wars and it's the sequel to a brilliant movie. Joker, not Star Wars.
I'll switch to say, you better justify that hard and heavy.
I quite like. I seem to be in the minority. I know a couple of people agree with me, but I don't mind.
The more I keep watching Last Jedi, the more I keep watching stuff about Last Jedi, not just like biased reviews, because obviously that would that would just make me a sheep. But I mean, like the more stuff I remember and the more stuff I watch about Last Jedi, the more I just kind of like, yeah, no, this was yikes.
Yeah, like first time coming out to cinema, I thought, yeah, that was great. But multiple rewatches, I kind of think it's less great, and seeing other people's opinion, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still.
If you want to see like the best thing on it on YouTube is probably Mahler's review. If you've ever seen that, it's like 5 hours long and it deconstructs the whole movie. He does a pretty good
I've
job.
seen one where it was like 40 minutes long, and it is probably the best review I've seen on it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, but like, yeah, still an enjoyable film in my opinion.
Yeah.
It ruined Star Wars for me so much that not even something as well. I'm not gonna say it's good. I'm gonna say it's decent as The Mandalorian. It won't get me back into it. It's just like it's not good enough though. I mean, it's fine. It's the best Disney Star Wars, but it's not good enough.
Now that we're here, we don't even need a segue. The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. I like The Mandalorian. That's
I like
the
the
best
Mandalorian.
thing coming out of Star Wars in recent years.
Fallen Order.
No.
No.
I don't like Fallen Order.
I
I think it's like a bad Dark Souls / Uncharted / Force Unleashed clone.
It's confusing. I really like the game, but it's a lot more exploration rather than combat. Like there is a lot of combat, but I saw something on Reddit, and I know I keep referring to Reddit, but I don't know. I love Reddit. It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, shut up! Don't you dare finish that sentence.
Okay.
You are not allowed to insult me. I am your co-host.
I'm your host. I own your soul. You can't deny that.
Shut up. Anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Know your place.
Anyway, I saw a post saying, kind of explaining the parrying system, and it's pretty confusing because to summarize, it's the parrying of Dark Souls, so the parrying's pretty slow, not gonna lie, but it has the attack systems. The enemies have the attacks of Sekiro, which is they attack numerous times.
So they just Frankenstein
this game. That is not very cash money.
So they just...
It's not fun to go against the Ogda Bogda with and you have like just one chance to parry. You miss that chance, you're gonna get smacked in the face.
Are you done?
Mm-hmm. I think the stupidest part of it is actually the train mission. I know it's like the first mission, but it's such a bad ripoff of Uncharted 2 when you're on the train. It's like, wow, this is literally the same mission. It's no different.
Yeah, fair enough.
You are speaking ancient Greek to me. I've not played the game, and I refuse to play the game because of the absolute train wreck Battlefront 2 was.
Right, EA not gonna get me to come back.
Fair enough, right? No one has faith in EA right now, but Respawn made this game, and I really like this game. So,
okay,
but you didn't have faith in this monkey.
Didn't Respawn make Mass Effect Andromeda?
No.
Oof.
That was BioWare.
Okay, I was just to say.
BioWare's dead, and BioWare's just dead. They're gone. They can't come back from Anthem.
Oof.
There's an Anthem 2 coming.
No!
But didn't you like Titanfall Destiny?
What?
I said, didn't you like Titanfall Destiny? Which is basically just Anthem.
It is just... Anthem is just Destiny and Titanfall stitched together.
Yeah, but it's an awful Frankenstein mess.
Just like Frankenstein in every other material except for the original book.
Sorry, Frankenstein's monsters, because I can guarantee someone somewhere will correct me on that before I correct myself.
first off, no one calls it Frankenstein's monster. Everyone calls it Frankenstein.
Yeah, I
Even
know,
the book
but
calls it Frankenstein.
Even the
there's
book.
there's always some
The reason of the book that I read didn't.
The title of the book isn't called Frankenstein's monster. It's called Frankenstein. You know,
Yeah, because it's about the doctor.
Yeah. But, you know, the main focal
yeah, but who cares
point-
about the doctor? We
Yeah.
care about the monster. But anyway,
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen episode 3 yet. I've only seen episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I haven't been
There's
super impressed.
an episode 3.
Yeah.
It came out like today or yesterday.
Oh,
I've
I haven't
not
even seen episode 2 yet because I don't have Disney Plus.
Disney Plus ain't in this country, and the secret ingredient was crime.
Well, my friend has it, and I'm only going to get Disney Plus when they all come out so I can watch them all through. And then for when I have the 7
just binge
days,
it.
free, I'm just going to binge it.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to review it and be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, I'm going to be honest, my problem with it is that the story kind of seems like it's like one short film, but they've drug it out to be 8 episodes, like something you would see on Dust on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's not bad, it's just not great. If you're going to get me back into your universe after crapping on me for so many years, you're going to have to make something great, not okay. Like Joker is a DC film, and DC's been crapping on us with horrible movies for the last 5 or 6 years. But then Joker came out, and now I want to see what DC does next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's gonna dash that hope straight away with this Twilight Batman film. What they're doing? I don't know. They got the.
I got really confused then, but then I remember it's right.
Yeah, they got like the.
They got Batboy to play Batman.
Yeah, they got the vampire to play Batman. They're not.
Do you think
that film's gonna be awful.
Bruce Wayne is just gonna walk out into the sun? He's just gonna start sparkling.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, back to Mandalorian. We're not gonna have another big thing again.
Okay. So one thing I like about Mandalorian is like the look of it.
Yeah, it looks
Everything's
very
got
nice.
practicality.
Yeah,
everything's got practicality, and the lack of CGI and the practical effects and the practical sets look cool.
Yeah.
Like I like the animals and things. Everything looks like it's alive, and that's what it should look like. It reminds me of like a lot of the 90s sci-fi shows like Deep Space Nine or Farscape or Firefly. It reminded me of those shows, the way it looked.
So, and I don't know if this is just me and one of my friends in college, but they pointed out that it's like a lesser version of Logan.
They're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
It is just Logan. Like, I thought that the moment I started watching it. It's also... The plot of it kind of rips off the movie The Night Comes For Us on Netflix, if you've ever seen that movie.
I've not seen that film.
If you've seen the Raid movies, it's got those guys in it, but it rips off that plot, which is basically this super competent killer that is placed in a high position for this mob, like the mafia.
Yeah.
Betrays his own kind. Like these people are about to shoot this little girl, and he comes up, the boss, and shoots all of them and protects this little girl for the duration of the movie, which is basically The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He even shot his own partner the same way that guy did. So I was like, not very original, but still better than anything Disney's made so far.
Yeah. So, we're all in agreement that Mandalorian's pretty alright.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on the subject of the whole child thing, Baby Yoda
is adorable.
Thoughts?
The only problem I have is that I don't like the fact he can use the Force as an infant, but whatever, he's still cute.
But he's 50 years old.
Is he CGI? Is he practical? Because he looks so real.
I think he's a mixture.
I think he's a mix.
Well, the fact that I'm having a hard time telling is good.
Yeah,
it's very good.
It's also kind of sad that the CGI in this show is better than some of the CGI in movies now.
It's better than the CGI in The Last Jedi. Because The Last Jedi had good CGI, but terrible designs and everything looked bland. But the show actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
And she has good choreography, unlike
The
Last Jedi.
cinematography is quite good, actually. Yeah.
Cinematography and choreography with like fights or battles or whatever.
The fact that we actually get to see an IG-88 kill people made me happy.
Yeah.
Got to see a Mandalorian after how many years of missing Boba Fett and Jango Fett?
Well, I think
God, yes!
I think in the comics, the Marvel comics, if you're going to read the Marvel Star Wars comics, just read Darth Vader. That's the only good one until
That's the only one anyone cares about. The other ones suck.
That's the only one with real depth in it. But I think in the comics, I might be remembering this wrong. They say Boba Fett's alive, and yeah, all right. Just as long as you make a movie about it and stop cancelling it 12 times, Disney.
Boba Fett is dead.
You know, my opinion, I think they need to stop making movies about the original characters and universe and skip ahead 1,000 years or skip behind 1,000 years.
Yeah.
You know what? I know what. Just do Star Wars: The Old Republic, the movie. That would
be amazing.
Yeah.
I would love a Old
everyone
Republic
would
movie.
like that. That would be brilliant.
Yeah. Best of both worlds.
Whether it be Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, or Knights of the Old Republic 2 Sith Lords. Please let there be Nihilus. I just want Darth Nihilus. If I could see Darth Nihilus in a movie, live action, that I could die happy.
Or Darth Malgus, or Revan. That'd be nice to see those characters.
Yeah, that would be great.
Darth Bane, Darth Nihilus, Darth Revan. If I could see those three, I would be A-okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I would love to see that as well. And I would want it to be a TV show though, because there's a lot of lore behind that.
Yeah,
but Disney's not going to do that, and I'm kind of afraid they will, because last time they took an extended character, like an extended universe character, they ruined him when they put like Thrawn in the Rebels show and they made him like retarded.
Sure.
I've not really seen Rebels much.
Okay, so you guys know who Thrawn is, right? Basically.
Yeah,
I believe so.
He's like one of the best Star Wars villains, especially in the extended universe.
Yeah.
He's a really good villain.
Is he a bounty hunter? Blue guy.
No, blue guy.
Oh, wait.
He's red
like eyes.
Wasn't he a general?
Dual pistols. He was like a weird cowboy.
No, that's Cad Bane.
No, that's Cad Bane.
I would like to see a film about Cad Bane, actually.
Oh, I definitely watch a film about Cad Bane.
Oh yeah, Thrawn is actually an admiral for like the Empire.
Yeah.
And he's like super competent at his job.
Oh, okay.
I only really watched.
But in Rebels, they made him like this mustache twisting villain that goes brilliant, and he has like this really bad British accent, and it's like, thank you for ruining Thrawn, Disney. One of the best characters that you could have utilized.
I only really watched Rebels when Darth Maul was on, and
the only good Rebels episode is the one where Kenobi and Darth Maul meet again.
Oh yeah, that was so
I was gonna say
good.
that's kind of the only reason to watch Rebels. That and seeing Darth Vader fight Ahsoka.
That was
because
good.
if you've seen Clone Wars and you watch that, oh baby, the feels.
Rebels is just cheap Clone Wars. And if you ever seen that movie the video on YouTube that reviews Rebels, and they made a point that said the only reason Rebels isn't as good is because they don't have to be, because no matter what happens, they're going to be financially stable, so they can make the biggest pile of crap in the world, and they're not going to get penalized for it, because they got that Disney money now. But in Clone Wars, there was several times where there was the threat of the show being canceled, and so they had to make like the absolute best thing ever in order to save it, and it worked several times. So there's a lot of really good Star Wars things in the Clone Wars, which is why Clone Wars is better than Rebels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, that's what we can say about Star Wars as a whole now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Alright, moving on. Alright, so this was gonna be right next to the the Elm Street thing, but then we started talking about Joker, and I thought, oh, my segue brain thought of this.
It's a segue brain time.
Yeah, it's big segue brain time.
Big segue brain.
That was a terrible joke. I'm so sorry. But we all seen Scream. We all love Scream. Yeah. Not the TV show.
I'm gonna say yes for the sense of you continuing what you're saying.
Okay. They're either making a Scream reboot movie or a Scream 5.
Ha! Yep.
Jesus. That's not what I was.
I can't wait for yet another reboot. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
No.
But what I'd like to see is if they do a Halloween 2018 with Scream. To kind of, because let's really focus here. Scream's kind of like a whole parody of the slasher genre and all that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So considering that Halloween 2018 has, let's be fair, has kind of resurrected the slasher genre a bit. It hasn't done it fantastic, full resurrection Frankenstein, but it's done it fairly well. That's a good time to parody it. Like, am I alone in this, or?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I really don't care about slasher movies.
I can see why. Yeah, like a lot of them are bad.
Bad.
Most of them bad. Like there's the good gems like Texas Chainsaw, one of the Friday the 13th films, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Not the new one, the old one. The first one is the best in history.
Yeah, I've heard that movie's really good. I want to see it just because John Carpenter did it, and I really like his other work. Like The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China are favorite movies of mine.
Yeah.
And I would like to watch Halloween.
Halloween is my favorite horror film ever. So you've got a big thumbs up from me, but this is still coming from the person who liked Last Jedi, so keep it with a grain of salt.
Well, see, Halloween's actually still considered a great movie, though, by lots of people, so I think it'd probably still be good.
Yeah.
Even if it is old. You know how many old movies I watch?
Yeah. How many?
Quite a few.
Okay.
You want to... my favorite horror movie is actually, if you've ever seen it, Bone Tomahawk. That's my favorite horror movie.
I've never seen
it. Rings a bell, but I don't know where from.
It's a Western movie that's also a horror movie. It's about these four guys chasing down this group of savages. They're Indians, except they're cave dwellers, and they're really evil. And they've kidnapped this guy's wife and the sheriff's deputy, so they're going to go get him back. And then it's actually super well written. The characters are really good, but the movie it's literally the most violent movie I've ever watched. Like, I'm saying it's worse in some ways than like a movie like Saving Private Ryan is, simply because of how each kill is framed. It's always slow and painful. It's not pleasant to watch, but it's still a brilliant movie.
All right. So I've heard you mention that before. So it's like really gory, like
Well, let's just say the worst kill in the movie, you can't have it featured on YouTube. Like anytime anyone reviews it, they have to censor that part because it's so bad.
Jesus, I thought Terrifier was bad. Great. At least with
So is it worse than Terrifier?
Like,
I haven't seen that movie.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's hella gory.
Terrifier is kind
the
of
one with the black and white. Is the one with the black and white clown in it?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
people consider it a cult classic. I consider it alright, and people say it's like the goriest film ever. Not really. There's only one death in it that is probably the worst I've seen, but compared to the rest of the movie, it's quite. No, wait. Compared to the rest of the movie, it's really out of place because of how gory it is.
It's the one where that woman's like chopped down the middle, isn't it?
Yeah, like they show the full thing.
Oh, well, let's just say that happens in Bone Tomahawk, but it's not with like, it's not centered at all, and it's worse because they don't chop him all the way, and they have to pull him the rest of the way apart.
Okay. So
It's not
it's
fully.
actually-
It's not censored in Terrifier, but he does like do a clean job of it, as one may say.
Oh, it's not clean. He's actually killed with a bone tomahawk, like a blunt donkey bone.
Oh,
That's what they do it with. And they strip him naked, and they do all kinds of really bad stuff to him. I don't want to like spoil it too much because it's really horrible, like what they do to this guy. Like
right.
it's by far the most violent movie I've ever seen, just simply because of that one scene. There's other really violent movies I've watched, like the movie I've mentioned that The Mandalorian kind of ripped off was The Night Comes for Us on Netflix. That movie's got it's basically a kung fu movie with horror movie gore. And it's awesome.
right.
That does sound awesome.
Yeah, and then of course, you got Private Ryan was pretty bad. The Rambo 4 film was bad for gore. The original RoboCop has a lot of gore in it, but Bone Tomahawk takes the cake. It's worse than all of them.
Jeez. Right. Well, you've certainly interested me, and basically, in short, nobody's excited for Scream 5.
No, I'm not.
I'll see it just to make sure that they don't ruin Wes Craven's legacy again for like the 20th time.
Out of curiosity, how long has this been going?
Not too long actually. Like it was just like announced this month.
No. The podcast, Monkey.
This podcast, like 3 months. Interview now. Alright, so NightBreed. Yes.
Yes.
I think I'm either thinking to somebody else or something, but aren't you working on a book? Yeah.
Yes, he mentioned
Yes.
that at the start of.
No, well, like a Western horror, was it?
The short story that I'm publishing soon is Western horror. The book is a Western dystopian, like
Oops.
1984 combined with the good and the bad and the ugly.
Oh, right. That sounds interesting. Yeah.
That sounds very interesting.
If you don't mind, like telling us some stuff about it.
It's very interesting.
So would you?
I actually had to go and write like a constitution form and everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's basically 1984 if you're wondering what was happening outside the city. Like if you went into the frontier where there isn't a lot of big cities and there's more desolate areas that are kind of abandoned. It's basically what's going on outside. It's not part of 1984 in any way.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
ask. So it's not in the 1984 universe, as
Yeah, because that's
one may call it.
that's
But
No, it's my own.
it's his own thing. That's
nice.
great. Like if you don't mind, like me talking about one project that I had planned, like. Yeah, I don't know how this reminds me of it. Maybe it's the whole Western thing. Maybe it's the story thing. But I was planning, one of my story ideas was a Western kind of version of Lord of the Flies. Like it's not going to be like children and all that, but it's going to be like a dark development of how this one man has become a complete monster by how much he is able to be just let free and having his animal instincts let out. Yeah. But I kind of gave up on this project because I relied too much on it. But yeah, that's how I don't know how to say this, but that's like the complete opposite of how you've done it. Do you mind like telling us and the viewers who may be interested in writing how you came up with this balance?
Actually, I don't quite remember how I came up with it. It was just kind of it originally started out like a short story. It was going to be like a short thing where pretty much everyone was going to die by the end of it, and then it kind of became something more, and it kept getting bigger. I started having to write it down and give people laws, and then there's factions of people that fight amongst each other out there, and it's basically, I don't know how to explain it. A lot of people can like to make you believe that there's an easy explanation on how to write a story, but there's not. And it's really not described down to a fine art because it is. It's hard to explain. Like, I really don't know how to put it into words. Basically, I just had an idea. I was just thinking what, like, some sort of dystopian universe. Or I think I was thinking because there was a lot of voices getting silenced on, like, YouTube and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, that'd be a good metaphor for it. Now it's become less of a metaphor and more of just a thing in this universe. You know, I think that's how I came up with it.
Right, so that's really interesting. And right, so this kind of like a tag on from the question that I just asked you, but me and Wide-Eyed here both are interested in doing writing. I've came up with a crap ton of stuff, and I don't know how much of it's going to work out. Because...
And I've had a whole universe of characters and stories within my head for the past 5 years.
Oh yeah, I've had this stuff in my head since I was like in 5th grade. Not this particular story, but there is one story that's been going on for years, and it just keeps growing. This one only came up in my head a year and a half ago. This one's not very old, but it's fairly large. The one in my head would be basically like on the scale of Lord of the Rings, but in space.
Oh, so it's like a
type thing.
Lord of the Rings in space.
My story takes place everywhere. It takes place outside the universe, inside the universe, in heaven, hell, purgatory. Everywhere.
Yeah, like I have planets, and they have language, and they have cultures, and there's like social structures. There's the weird people that no one talks to in some planets, and then there's those super powerful people, and then there's these objects that give people power that declare them king over whatever planet because they're just so powerful and stuff like it's so vast. It's just been stuff that's been building in my head for years. But this one here is just something I came up with recently.
That's good. If you don't mind, I kind of thought of something similar. It's not as detailed. Like, I just really came up with, space. This was in like a big universe thing, what was going to deconstruct superhero stuff and all that. Where space, there's this one thing called the United Systems of the Universe, and then and really I think I came up with this excuse of them to just simplify currency, language, and all this stuff, because making a bunch of planets with a bunch of other stuff is really complicated. It's like
world building is difficult. Yeah. You also got to keep in mind, if you want to make it feel believable, you also have to take like our planet in mind. Not everyone's the same. Everyone's got different beliefs and different religions, and there's different things that set everyone apart, and different skin pigments and everything. it's just some stuff you gotta think of. I mean, and then you have to find a way to introduce it subtly so it doesn't sound like that your book is nothing but world building. So you gotta watch out for that.
Hmm. So it's kind of like a how's the best way to describe it? My Hero Academia thing. Have either of you seen My Hero Academia?
No.
No, but I really want to.
I do recommend it. It's got good writing and all that, but it can drag on a bit in some places. But I still highly recommend it. It's but it does its world building subtly. So while you're going through the main character's story, more nuggets of the world is revealed over time, like how society works and how all this stuff works. So it's kind of something similar to that, like just leaving little breadcrumbs along the way. Is that like me just wanting to subconsciously talk about My Hero Academia, or?
That was probably you unsubconscious. It was probably just you wanting to talk about My Hero Academia.
But if you're having like problems finishing things like books and stuff like that, there's a video on YouTube that goes over this guy's book, and it's basically telling you to treat it as like a professional thing. So if you take a workman's mentality and work on it a certain amount of times each day, like set aside a time a day to work on it specifically and treat it like your job, it has, you get results from it. And yeah, it works. But what I like to do, and what I've started doing that's helping me, I treat everyone in it. I try to make them as well written as possible, but I treat them like real people and throw situations at them just to see how they react. It's weird, but it works. So you might want to try that and see how that works for you.
Okay, yeah. Alright, so I think this has gone on long enough. Like this has gone
on a decent while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Boy, oh boy, do I feel sorry for whoever has to edit this.
Thanks. Bye die. Alright, so thank you, NightBreed Gaming, for just NightBreed. Sorry. Thank you, NightBreed, for coming on to this podcast, joking around with us, and sharing some of your writing professional opinion with us.
All right. You're welcome. I was glad to be here.
It was nice having you.
This is very nice having you.
It was great. And
it was odd having a third person, but good at the same time.
It's still new to this podcast thing, but yeah, this has probably helped us a lot. And I don't say this enough, Wide-Eyed, but you're an idiot.
Just for a second, I actually thought you were gonna compliment me or
I was gonna
something.
do something heartfelt, but I felt that was cliche and kind of contrived. But yeah, thank you all viewers for listening to his podcast. Once again, thank you to Wide-Eyed. Go over to his channel. He does great analytical writing analysis.
Oh my! NightBreed! It is NightBreed!
Damn it! Just one last.
Next you're gonna go over and check out Wide-Eye's channel. Be like, oh, I wonder what it is. It's like, oh, he's talking about me.
Oh my god!
All right, so go over to NightBreed's channel.
I'm not good enough at editing to do that stuff.
Go over to NightBreed's channel. He does a lot of good analytical.
Go over to NightBreed's channel. He does a lot of
good analytical reviews, analysis of writing. He does a lot of good stuff.
He's a great channel.
Yeah, he's good guy. He's a good guy. Good channel. It's great.
You guys are making me blush.
I'm sorry. Go over to Wide-Eye's channel if you want to get autism.
Come to my channel. Give me views. Give me subscribers. I want it all.
And if you haven't already, Please like, please validate my existence. Comment and subscribe for more stuff.
Autism.
You never know, I could do a thing next time. I don't know. Goodbye.
Can I do the outro?
Yeah, alright. Baby needs a
Yay.
bottle. Baby needs
Yeah,
a
baby
bottle.
needs a bottle. Okie dokie. There's not much point saying like and subscribe because Monkey's already said that. But I'm gonna say it anyway because this is my outro. This is my part. So, if you like this video, if it made you laugh or chuckle or exhale harder than you usually do, like and subscribe and comment. It doesn't really matter what you comment. We don't really care that much, but you know, just comment something. Comments are usually nice.
Fantastic. See you next time, folks. Bye.
Oh wait!